The highest level in emotional intelligence is often called skill number 4. It's also commonly referred to as relationship management, or the ability to influence and to persuade other people. Attaining it is completely dependent on mastering the 3 that come before it, because nobody wants to be inspired or motivated or led by an emotional 6-year-old. So, when it comes to developing other people, or serving as a leader, or being a catalyst for change, or collaborating with a high-performing team, or managing conflict, your basic building block skills of identifying your own emotions, changing those emotions when necessary, and identifying what other people are feeling without projecting your own, they are the key to being successful in everything. My guess is about 5 or 6% of the population possess this skill. It's about half of those who've managed to perfect number 3. Interesting enough, that 5 or 6% is probably about equal to the number of people who manage to turn life into an adventure and actually end up living the dream. So that's just another reason why emotional intelligence is worth your time and effort. People who are high in skill number 4, or relationship management, are often described as likeable and prove very capable when it comes to working well with vastly differing groups, even when pressure or stress is high. This skill turns out to be the difference between ordering people about with harsh, sometimes punitive instructions and punishment for non-compliance, or alternatively, inspiring those very same people to want to join into a team effort that outperforms every known management style. This skill is vital in securing win-win negotiations in one-on-one relationships, or running families worth belonging to, and sporting teams or business teams that rely on differing personalities combining to get their best possible efforts for the goal. It's absolutely critical to your success. Developing your relationship management skills fundamentally depends on you being able to gain and maintain a helicopter view of situations despite the pressure and the stress to self-focus. As I said, it's a rare person who can rise above their own perceptions, beliefs, needs, and understandings in order to establish and keep the focus on a team's results. Yet we universally respect and admire that individual because they enable us to do more both for ourselves and for the team all at the same time. So what are the keys to developing this most important of all emotional intelligence skills? Firstly, without wanting to overemphasize it, but understanding just how fundamentally important it is, nobody gets to this level without knowing the first 3 skills. It's impossible to be aware of the needs of your team when you're consumed by your own emotions. It's also impossible to deliver what your team needs from you when you're consumed with your own impulses and desires. To put it bluntly, great leaders look after their teams first and themselves second, whilst being aware that they'll get the best result for themselves if they focus on the team. In short, this requires an attitude of abundance, a view that there is plenty of glory to go around. Not such a common view, yet a powerfully productive one. Secondly, you'll need to begin to see conflict as an opportunity for members of your family or your team to grow closer together rather than becoming more distant. This attitude requires a high degree of emotional maturity and a willingness to go where others fear to go when it comes to encouraging the expression of deeply held but not necessarily as deeply understood emotions. To lead in these areas, you'll need to be way beyond being triggered by people or events that others find challenging. Thirdly, your ability to find the common ground between conflicting views will be fundamental to bringing your family or your team together. That means letting go of your own views easily enough so that shared values show up. Then you can bring them to the fore in difficult and perhaps stressful situations where they'll often be the difference between a great result and something ordinary. Fourthly, it will become more and more important for you to use your powers of self-reflection to assess your performance with a view to improving it. You'll be in a rarefied atmosphere where few people have the observational skills to help you become better. So you'll need to A, find time to look within openly and frankly, and B, make the changes that blunt conversation with yourself requires. For most people, that boils down to committing time in your diary that will be used specifically for your own developing emotional intelligence skills. And fifthly, if you're smart, you'll go seeking feedback on your performances. When you're actively looking to be better, your family and your team notice, and whilst they may be reluctant to share what they consider confronting views with you, if you, number 1, receive it graciously, number 2, respect it, number 3, take on board what they're saying, and number 4, make changes accordingly, you cannot fail to gain their respect and admiration for your openness and honesty. You'll gain your own respect too, and that's something too valuable to measure. So, hop to it. There's nothing to lose and everything to gain.